Yesterday we have seen two FM demodulation technique, FM demodulation technique. That we have seen balanced slope detector, balanced slope detector. We have seen the balanced slope detector first. So in the balanced slope detector, what we are doing, the incoming FM signal is passed through the envelope detector. The incoming FM signal is passed through the tuned amplifier first, tuned amplifier, another tuned amplifier having different characteristics, then again envelope detector, then it is added in such a way that it produces the message signal, This is the FM signal. So exam point of view, what you have to remember, this technique, balanced slope detector technique, is a frequency discrimination technique. Here we are not discussing about any phase of the signal, only frequency of the signal we are discussing. And it is passed through a tuned amplifier having different characteristics. Then envelope detector, and then it is added through a summator, then finally it is producing the original message signal. The exam point of view, you have to remember the element like tuned amplifier and envelope detector. In the exam, they will ask, in case of FM receiver, where the envelope detector is used. Like that kind of questions they used to ask. So just you have to remember the exam point of view. Okay. Next, we have seen that tuned amplifier characteristics has been like this. Tuned amplifier characteristics has been like this. This is the resonant frequency of tuned amplifier. This is the range of the FM signal. The inner part is range of the FM signal. So you have to choose a FM signal. Then for your clarity, this is FC. This axis is FC. Whenever the incoming FM signal is having FC, its value will be 0. So if the frequency increases, this is the frequency axis. If the frequency increases, your message value will get increased. It will go to the peak value. Again, if your frequency value decreases, your message value will decrease. It will go to the maximum negative. And then again, if you increase the frequency, it will go to again 0. This is the process. How you are recovering the message signal. This is M of t. So in this way, this is the time axis. This is the time axis, and this is the amplitude axis. This is the time axis, and this is the amplitude axis. This is the mapping between that tuned response characteristics and your recovered message signal M of t, and your recovered message signal M of t. Okay. Next, we have discussed about PLL, phase locked loop. It comes under phase discriminator characteristics, because based on the phase we are recovering with the help of phase we are recovering the original message signal, phase locked loop. So it was very clear that in the beginning we were using the phase detector. Phase detector means through simple multiplier also you can implement the phase detector. Then we are putting here original FM signal, that means received FM signal at the FM receiver. Then it is passed through a low pass filter. The low pass filter output is feedback to the voltage controlled oscillator. That means instead of using local oscillator, we are using voltage controlled oscillator in the feedback domain. That is, in intelligent way, we are using the local oscillator, because ordinary local oscillator will not be useful in case of FM reception. The reason I have explained in the previous class. So in this process, finally, you are getting the message signal. In the exam point of view, what they will ask? They will ask this element. What is the element used in the phase locked loop, voltage controlled oscillator and low pass filter? Again, here, like another components, envelope detector and all, we are not using. So just you have to remember that element, low pass filter. and voltage controlled oscillator. And one more concept I have explained, one more concept like what is the log range and what is the capture range, what is the log range and what is the capture range. So capture range, first capture range becomes capture range, and next one is log range, next one is log range. So what is the difference between these two? First of all, once you have to capture the signal, the ability of the PLL to capture the signal between the certain frequency range is called the capture range of the PLL receiver, capture range of the PLL receiver, that is the capture range. Once the PLL captures the certain frequency, FM frequency, it can hold up to, it can lock up to slightly higher than the capture range, slightly higher than the capture range. That is the lock range. That means this is the capture range and this is the lock range. First one is capture range and this is the lock range. So in general, the lock range is slightly greater than the capture range, slightly greater than the capture range. This is one of the parameter of the PLL receiver, one of the parameter of the PLL receiver. Then with this I stop. I will discuss about the new things. That is today our topic is super heterodyne receiver. Super heterodyne receiver. Before going to the super heterodyne receiver, I will discuss some of the basics. Some basics about some filter characteristics I will discuss, and then what is Q factor. Then I will go to the super heterodyne receiver. Some of the basics that is required for super heterodyne receiver. Okay, before going to that, I will discuss about filter. These and all you can note down in the notes. If you are having the printed notes, short notes, in the end, I would have given you the free pages, empty pages. There you can write these notes, or otherwise you can take the notes separately. You can take the notes separately. So first one is, what is filter? What is, first of all, what is a filter? You should not say that the filter is a filter which filters the signal. That is not the correct definition. This is the normal definition. It is not a T filter. It is a electronics filter. A filter is an electronic device that allows a certain range of frequency and stops the other range of frequency, and filters out or stops the other range of frequency. Finally, note down the definition. A filter is an electronic device that allows required range of frequency and stops or filters out other range of frequencies. That is the filter. That is the job of the filter. Okay, filter means immediately you have to come to the frequency domain. Filter means always with respect to what? Frequency domain. With respect to frequency. Filter means always with respect to frequency. So what is low pass filter? What is low pass filter? Low pass filter is a filter which allows the frequency of lower range. Suppose this is zero frequency, this is the frequency axis, and a filter will be having some gain. In most of the cases, let it be gain be 1. Our interest is not in the amplitude domain, our interest is in the frequency domain. Gain anyway you can achieve with help of amplifiers. With help of amplifiers you can achieve any gain. So our interest is in the frequency domain. Our interest is in the frequency domain. So the lowest frequency is 0. Then what is the highest frequency? What is FH? FH means, see, remember, in low pass filter, the notation is FH. FH means what? The maximum frequency that is allowed by the low pass filter. Cutoff frequency of low pass filter. FH means what? The maximum frequency, because if the frequency is higher than FH, if the frequency is greater than FH, you will not get that frequency. You will not get that frequency at the output of the filter, because the filter filters out that signals. Okay, so FH means what? The maximum frequency that is passed by the low pass filter. See, remember here low pass filter, but the notation is FH. The maximum frequency that is passed by the low pass filter is FH, or cutoff frequency of the low pass filter, or cutoff frequency of the low pass filter. Kindly note down. Next I will take the high pass filter. Next, high pass filter. So high pass filter. Okay. So again, once if you understand low pass filter, this is very simple. High pass filter, it starts from certain frequency. Say that frequency is FL. The notation is very important. You should not confuse with the notation. The notation is very important. So FL. So that means this high pass filter is not allowing the low frequencies, but it is allowing the high frequency from certain range. That means FL means what? Cutoff frequency of the high pass filter, or otherwise, what is the lowest frequency? What is the lowest frequency that is passed by this filter is called FL. Is called FL. So note down, FL means lowest frequency or cutoff frequency of the high pass filter. Please remember, high means here FL will come, H means here L will come. In the previous case, low pass filter means FH will come. So note down carefully. So we have discussed two basic filter, low pass filter and high pass filter. What is the next filter? Next filter is band pass filter. Next filter is band pass filter. So how to design the band pass filter? So with help of low pass filter and high pass filter, you can design the band pass filter. With help of low pass and high pass, you can design the band pass filter. So how to design band pass filter with help of low pass and high pass? Sometimes you can directly design the band pass filter, or otherwise with help of low pass and high pass also you can design the band pass filter. You can design the band pass filter. Okay, band pass filter. Band pass filter. First, we will see the characteristics of band pass filter. We'll see the characteristics of band pass filter. So this is the band pass filter characteristics. Band pass filter characteristics. So this is what FL. This is FH. This is what FL, FH. That means the filter is allowing the frequency from FL to FH, from FL to FH. Another frequencies it will not allow. Remaining frequency it will filters out. It will. So only middle band it is allowing. That is why it is band pass filter. Again, what is the bandwidth of band pass filter? It all depends on the other parameter that I will discuss in few minutes later. Okay, so this is the band pass filter. Then how to design a band pass filter with help of low pass filter and high pass filter, and what is the relation? What is the relation there? Let us verify now. Okay, so how to get the band pass filter with help of low pass and high pass filter? With help of low pass and high pass filter. Say for example, I am having this filter. Say this is my low pass filter. I can take like this, no problem. FH. Then say this is my high pass filter characteristics. FL. So what will happen? Suppose you are sending signal. First, you are sending the signal through this filter, high pass filter. Sorry, the first one is a low pass filter. Sorry. So first you are sending the signal through low pass filter. Next you are sending the signal through same signal. That means low pass filter and high pass filters are what? Cascaded. Low pass filter and high pass filters are cascaded. So whenever you are sending the signal through low pass filter, you will get this range of signals. Again, this range of signal will be sent through this filter. Then finally, what you will get? You will get this range only. So you will get the band pass filter nature from this to this. You will get the band pass filter nature from this to this. Then what is the condition? So whenever low pass filter and high pass filter are cascaded, it may give either band pass filter or band stop filter, band pass or band stop. Here we are discussing about only band pass. So this is possible only when FH is greater than FL. FH is greater than FH and FL is just a notation. It is not necessarily to be always FH to be greater than FL. It may be anything also. That means FH can be less than FL also. FH and FL is just a notation. But in this case, what happens? In this case, FH is greater than FH is greater than FL. In this case, FH is greater than FL. So whenever low pass filter and high pass filter are cascaded with each other, whenever low pass filter and high pass filter are cascaded with each other, if FH is greater than FL, say for example, this is low pass filter, this is low pass filter, this is high pass filter. cascaded with each other. Again, you can interchange this also, high pass and low pass. There is no matter. It will not change the result. So whenever the low pass filter and high pass filter are cascaded with each other, if FH is greater than FL, the result will be equivalent to what? Band pass filter. This you should understand. The result is equivalent to the band pass filter. So the combination of low pass filter and high pass filter will give band pass filter when the FH value is greater than FL, when FH value is greater than FL. This is the way of getting the band pass filter nature with help of low pass filter and high pass filter. Low pass filter and high pass filter, or otherwise directly also you can design the band pass filter. Directly you can design the band pass filter, or otherwise with help of low pass and high pass you can implement the band pass filter. You can implement the band pass filter. Next. Okay, next I'm going to discuss about the band stop filter. Band stop filter. Okay, so band stop filter. So band stop filter. Band stop filter. Another name for band stop filter is band reject filter. Band reject filter. That means for only certain range it will reject, remaining range it will pass. Only certain range it will reject, remaining range it will pass. So this is FH, this is what? FL, this is FH and this is FL. So up to 0 to FH it is allowing, up to 0 to FH it is allowing. See, remember FH and FL is just notation. FH and FL is just notation. FH not necessarily to be always greater than FL. You have to understand that first. FS means something related with low pass filter characteristics. Okay. So this band stop filter is allowing the signal up to this range and rejecting these frequencies and allowing from FL to up to infinite. That means certain portion from FH to FL it is allowing, from FH to FL it is allowing. Why I'm writing FH and FL? There is some reason for that. I'll explain now. So this band it is not allowing. So it is called band reject filter. So it is called band reject filter. So how you can achieve the band reject filter or band stop filter with the help of low pass filter and high pass filter. Okay. So suppose I am taking the low pass filter characteristics like this, FH, and high pass filter characteristics something like this, FL, then what will happen? Once if you pass the signal through this, is there any possibility that you will get the band reject filter? Yes. I think. Hello? So we have implemented the band pass filter. We have implemented the band pass filter with the help of low pass and high pass filter, with help of low pass and high pass filter. But if you want to design band reject filter, is it possible with help of low pass and high pass? Because it looks that the answer comes as 0. Looks as the answer comes as 0. Yes, parallel. You have to do parallel connection.
Yes,
in parallel, it is possible. Yes. Instead of cascading, you have to do the parallel connection. Parallel, will it work out in parallel? Yeah. Instead of cascading, you can do the parallel connection so that you can get the band reject filter. So please verify this concept, because to get the band stop filter with help of low pass and high pass, how it is possible. So through parallel connection, it may be possible. Okay. So we have just discussed about the various filters. Then I will try to discuss about the quality factors of the filter. What is quality factor? So quality factor Q for any filter, quality factor Q is equal to F naught divided by bandwidth. Quality factor Q is equal to F naught divided by bandwidth, where F naught is a center frequency, bandwidth. Again, BW is the bandwidth of the filter. Q is the quality factor of the circuit. Q depends on the circuit parameter, omega, L, and R, and C's. It has some formulas. Q means quality of the circuit, quality of the circuit. Okay, F naught divided by band. Let's try to understand this. Okay. So, suppose if I am having a band pass filter, say tuned amplifier. Tuned amplifier will have narrow band characteristics. Tuned amplifier will have the narrow band characteristics. So in the tuned amplifier, center frequency I am taking it as 1 megahertz. Center frequency I am taking it as 1 megahertz. Bandwidth, how much bandwidth? 3 dB bandwidth I am taking. So 3 dB bandwidth, if I am taking it as 100 kilohertz. How much 3 dB bandwidth I am taking? 100 kilohertz. Then if I want to achieve the 100 kilohertz bandwidth with the center frequency of 100 kilohertz bandwidth with the center frequency of 1 megahertz, what should be the value of Q? What should be the value of Q? Very simple. Just to put it in the formula, Q is equal to F naught divided by bandwidth. Q is equal to F naught divided by bandwidth. So what is the answer? It is 10. It is just 10. 1 megahertz divided by 100 kilohertz is 10. That means what? The quality factor of the circuit is to be 10. Precisely, very precisely, it has to be 10. If it is more than 10, what will happen? If the quality factor is more than 10, your bandwidth will reduce. If the quality factor is less than 10, your bandwidth will increase. See, the effect is here because these two are interchanged. If the quality factor increases, what will happen? Your bandwidth will decrease. Your bandwidth will decrease. That means if your bandwidth decreases, your quality factor has to increase. Quality factor has to increase. So if you want to have precisely 100 kilohertz bandwidth, if you want to have precisely 100 kilohertz bandwidth at 1 megahertz, definitely very precisely you should have the quality factor of 10. You should not increase or you should not decrease. Very precisely you have to design the circuit. Q has to be 10. Q has to be 10 because if you increase the Q, your bandwidth will decrease. If you decrease the Q, your bandwidth will increase. It will create the problem. Because if the bandwidth increases, your system will allow another channel, some other uninterrupted channels, it will allow in the system. What will happen if the bandwidth decreases? If the bandwidth decreases, it may not allow your desired channel spectrum. Because every channel is having its own bandwidth. For example, FM is having 200 kilohertz bandwidth. AM is having 10 kilohertz bandwidth. So 10 kilohertz means you have to send exactly only 10 kilohertz into the system. So to make this clear, the Q factor of the circuit should be very precise. So, okay, what happened? What happened with the Q? Suppose, let's see the relation. In case, if instead of 1 megahertz means center frequency or carrier. If instead of 1 megahertz, if I operate in 10 megahertz, instead of 1 megahertz, if I operate in 10 megahertz, what happened? What happened to the Q factor of the circuit? 10 megahertz divided by 100K. So 10, when you go for carrier frequency, 10 megahertz. So here 10 megahertz comes. Here 10 megahertz comes. Once 10 megahertz comes, what is this value? Instead of 10, you have to put 100. You have to put 100. That means what? Quality factor has to be increased. Quality factor has to be increased. So I am not changing the, I am not changing the bandwidth. I am not changing the bandwidth. So, but what I am changing? Carrier frequency. That means center frequency. If I am changing the center frequency, my quality factor has to be increased. That means we have discussed very simple manner. Different operator resides at a different carrier frequency, but the operator's bandwidth is always same. That means what? When you go for different operators, your circuit should produce different Q. Then only you will be able to detect the signals of different operator. So what happens when you are fixing the bandwidth? When you increase the resonant frequency, your quality factor increase. In the same way, if you decrease the resonant frequency, your quality factor will decrease. That means what? Fixing the quality factor is not an easy parameter. Quality factor depends on the circuit components. Quality factor depends on the circuit component. Say, for example, in the simple manner, omega L divided by R. Quality factor depends on the circuit component. You cannot change the circuit component very easily. That means, but in this discussion, it shows that when the carrier frequency is getting changed, the quality factor of the circuit has to be changed. That means you have to use different circuits for different operator. So this creates some kind of problem in the AM receiver. So then only, so only we are going to the super heterodyne receiver. We cannot receive the AM signal with help of ordinary receiver. If you want to receive the AM signal with help of ordinary receivers, you should have the circuit with different Q. That means you should have different radio for different operators. You should have different AM radio for different operator. That is very difficult. So this concept comes under TRF, tuned radio frequency receiver. TRF receiver, tuned ratio frequency receiver. Tuned ratio frequency receiver. That means you have to tune your receiver to the different frequency by changing your Q. By changing your Q, this comes under tuned ratio frequency receiver. So this kind of receiver is commercially not used in the AM system. So at this point, it should be very clear that what is the relation between the quality factor Q. Q depends on what? Q depends on circuit parameter, and F0 and bandwidth depends on what? Bandwidth is always constant. Different operators will be provided bandwidth at the different FC, but their bandwidth is same. Their center frequency may vary. For example, what? 88 to 100 megahertz FM spectrum, 88 to 100 megahertz. For 93.5 also, you will be providing 200 kilohertz bandwidth. For other operators, say 100 megahertz. If some operator is operating at 100 megahertz, he will also be provided with 200 kilohertz bandwidth only. So operators, when we go from one operator to another operator, the center frequency or resonant frequency will vary. The bandwidth will not vary. Okay, so this is some interrelation about the quality factor, resonant frequency, and bandwidth. With this idea, I will go to super heterodyne receiver. Is there any doubt in this regarding this formula? Kindly note down this formula. Most probably you will be getting questions from this formula. This formula may come under circuit analysis or electronic devices, or related to communication also. Most probably you will be getting some questions in the competitive examination based on this formula. Everyone knows this formula, but how this formula operate? What is the limitation in this formula? You should know. Yes, is there any doubt in this?
Sir.
Yes, ma'am. சொல்லுங்க.
Q factor வந்து reactance to the resistance ratio போட்டுருக்கீங்களா? இது வந்து சீரியஸ் RL சர்க்யூட்ல தானே சார்? அதே இது parallel RL சர்க்யூட்லனா வேற கொடுத்திருக்காங்க.
Okay. Yeah. It depends on circuit parameters. Just for example, I have told Q depends on the circuit parameter. Because
சில புக்ல வந்து சீரியல் சர்க்யூட் parallel சர்க்யூட் இருந்தாலும் ஒமேகா L by R தான் சார் கொடுத்திருக்காங்க. ஆனா எது கரெக்ட்னு எனக்கு தெரியல. நான் கேக்குறேன்.
ஓகே மேம், அது நோ கன்ஃபியூஷன். அதாவது சீரியலுக்கு தனியா இருக்கு, பேரலல் தனியா இருக்கு. அது எல்லாமே வந்து நம்ம சர்க்யூட் அனாலிசிஸ் டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணும்போது அது கிளியர் ஆகும். Q ஃபேக்டர் வந்து சீரியலுக்கு இருக்கு, பேரலலுக்கு இருக்கு. அகைன் டிஃபரன்ஸ் இருக்கு. சம்டைம்ஸ் C யூஸ் பண்ணி கூட போடலாம். ஸோ இது போல டிஃப்ரெண்ட் வெரைட்டி இருக்கு. நம்ம ஒமேகா எல்லாம் போடணும்னு அவசியம் கிடையாது, C யூஸ் பண்ணி கூட போடலாம். ஸோ சீரியஸ் பேரலலுக்கு அகைன் டிஃப்ரெண்ட் காம்பினேஷன் இருக்கு. ஸோ அதெல்லாம் நம்ம அதை டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணும்போது
அதான் எனக்கு டவுட். ஏன்னா சில நிறைய புக்ல வந்து ஒமேகா எல் பை ஆர் னு கொடுத்திருக்காங்க, சில புக்ல வந்து ஆர் பை ஒமேகா எல்
அதாவது ஒமேகா எல் ஆர் பை பாத்தீங்கன்னா சீரியஸ்க்கு ஒமேகா எல் பை ஆர், பேரலலுக்கு ஆர் பை ஒமேகா எல். சோ
அப்ப டிஃபரண்டா தான் வரும்னா சார் சில புக்ல?
ஆமா. நோ, அதாவது பாத்தீங்கன்னா அவங்க எதுவுமே மென்ஷன் பண்ணலாம், நீங்க சீரியல்னு எடுத்துக்கலாம். சீரியஸ்னு சம்டைம் क्वेश्चनல மென்ஷன் பண்றாங்க பேரலல்னா, அப்ப நீங்க parallel ஃபார்முலாவை தான் எடுத்து போடணும். இதெல்லாம் வந்து ரெசனன்ஸ்னு ஒரு செக்ஷன் இருக்கு சர்க்யூட் அனாலிசிஸ்ல. சோ அதை டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணும்போது தான் இதெல்லாம் வந்து கிளியர் ஆகும்.
ஓகே சார்,
If there is no other doubt, we'll go to the actual discussion. Yes, sir.
The tuned radio frequency சொன்னீங்க. அது ஏன் சார்
ஆமா
யூஸ் பண்றது இல்ல?
அதுதான் இதுதான் ரீசன். அதாவது பாத்தீங்கன்னா டியூன்ட் ரேடியோ ஃப்ரீக்வன்சி ரிசீவர்ல எப்படி இருக்கும் அப்படின்னா நீங்க சப்போஸ் ஆப்ரேட்டருக்கு வந்து டிஃப்ரெண்ட் கேரியர் ஃப்ரீக்வன்சி இருக்குங்க. ஆப்ரேட்டருக்கு என்ன இருக்கு? டிஃப்ரெண்ட் கேரியர் ஃப்ரீக்வன்சி. அதுதான் வந்து F0. நம்ம என்ன சொல்றோம்? எஃப்எம் இருந்ததுன்னா 88 108 மெகாஹெர்ட்ஸ் சொல்றோம். இப்போ 88ல இருக்கும் பொழுது சம் கியூ தேவைப்படும். 108 போட்டீங்கன்னா அனதர் கியூ தேவைப்படும். அப்ப டிஃபரெண்டாவே உங்களுக்கு நியூ சர்க்கியூட் தேவைப்படும். நியூ குவாலிட்டி ஃபேக்டர் தேவைப்படும். நியூ சர்க்கியூட் நியூ குவாலிட்டி ஃபேக்டர். ஸோ அது வந்து வெரி டிஃபிகல்ட். அப்போ அதாவது சர்க்கியூட் காம்பனண்டே சேஞ்ச் ஆகும். அதாவது என்ன மீனிங்னா ஏன் யூஸ் பண்றது இல்லைன்னா அப்படி யூஸ் பண்ணீங்கன்னா இப்போ சப்போஸ் 10 ஆபரேட்டர் இருக்காங்கன்னா அவங்க 10க்கு நீங்க 10 ரேடியோ யூஸ் பண்ணணும். ஒரு ஆபரேட்டருக்கும் ஒரு ரேடியோ. அது வந்து வெரி டிஃபிகல்ட். ஏன்னா கியூ சேஞ்ச் பண்ணணும். கியூ வந்து ஜஸ்ட் லைக் தட் சேஞ்ச் பண்ண முடியாது. எல்சி வேல்யூவை சேஞ்ச் பண்ணாதான் வந்து கியூ சேஞ்ச் ஆகும். அதெல்லாம் கொஞ்சம் டிஃபிகல்ட் ப்ராசஸ். அதுக்கு பதில் வேற ஒரு சிம்பிள் ப்ராசஸ் இருக்கு. அதுதான் வந்து சூப்பர் ஹெட்ரோடைன் ரிசீவர். அதுதான் வந்து சூப்பர் ஹெட்ரோடைன் ரிசீவர். மெயின் ரீசனே அந்த கியூல வர ப்ராப்ளம் தான். ஏன்னா ஆப்ரேட்டர் ஃப்ரீக்வன்சி சேஞ்ச் ஆகுது. ஒரு ஆப்ரேட்டர்ல இருந்து இன்னொரு ஆப்ரேட்டர் போகும்போது என்ன சேஞ்ச் ஆகுது? ஆப்ரேட்டிங் ஃப்ரீக்வன்சி சேஞ்ச் ஆகுது. பேண்ட்வித் சேஞ்ச் ஆனா நீங்க காம்பன்சேட் பண்ணிக்கலாம். ஆனா பேண்ட்வித் வந்து என்னது? ஃபிக்ஸ்டு. பேண்ட்வித் வந்து ஃபிக்ஸ்டு. சப்போஸ் உங்களுடைய ஃப்ரீக்வன்சி அதிகரிக்கும் போது பேண்ட்வித் அதிகரிச்சுன்னா கியூ சேஞ்ச் ஆகாது. பட் ஆனா அப்படி கிடையாது. பேண்ட்வித் வந்து அது ஆல்வேஸ் கான்ஸ்டன்ட். எல்லா ஆப்ரேட்டரும் நம்ம சேம் பேண்ட்வித் தான் தருவோம். ஸோ அப்போ ஒன்ஸ் ஆப்ரேட்டர் ஃப்ரீக்வன்சி சென்ட்ரல் ஃப்ரீக்வன்சி அதிகரிக்கும் பொழுது கியூவும் அதிகரிக்குது. அதாவது என்ன மீனிங்னா 88 மெகாஹெர்ட்ஸ்ல இருக்கிற ஆப்ரேட்டர் கூட 108 மெகாஹெர்ட்ஸ்க்கு நீங்க வேற ரேடியோ யூஸ் பண்ணணும். அகைன் அதனுடைய கியூ ஃபேக்டரும் அதிகமா இருக்கணும். காஸ்ட் ஆஃப் த சர்க்கியூட்டும் அதிகமா இருக்கும் அந்த ரிசீவருக்கு. ஒன்ஸ் அதாவது சிம்பிளா ஞாபகம் வச்சுங்க, கியூ இன்க்ரீஸ் ஆகுதுன்னா காஸ்ட் ஆஃப் த சர்க்கியூட்டும் இன்க்ரீஸ் ஆகும். குவாலிட்டி ஆஃப் த சர்க்கியூட் இன்க்ரீஸ் பண்ணும்போது வெரி ப்ரிசைஸ் எலமெண்ட் இதெல்லாம் வந்து யூஸ் பண்ணணும். அதாவது ஆர்டர் ஆஃப் த எலமெண்ட் வந்து இன்க்ரீஸ் ஆகும். ஆர்டர் ஆஃப் த எலமெண்ட் இதெல்லாம் வந்து இன்க்ரீஸ் ஆகும். ஸோ காஸ்ட் இதெல்லாம் வந்து இன்க்ரீஸ் ஆகும். கியூ இன்க்ரீஸ் ஆகும். டிஃப்ரெண்ட் கியூ வர்றதுதான் மெயின் ப்ராப்ளம். சேம் கியூ அந்த பிரச்சனை இல்லை. அகைன் சேம் கியூ வர வைக்கிறதுக்கு கான்செப்ட் இருக்கு. அதுதான் வந்து சூப்பர் ஹெட்ரோடைன் ரிசீவர். அதுதான் வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா சூப்பர் ஹெட்ரோடைன் ரிசீவர். மெயினா வந்து கியூ சேஞ்ச் ஆகுறது தான். டிஃப்ரெண்ட் கியூ. எஸ். ஓகே, தென் go to the material. So sorry, before that we'll discuss about pre-emphasis and de-emphasis. For this classification, I will come later. I have some doubt in this. Once it clarifies, then I will come here. And before that, I will discuss about pre-emphasis and de-emphasis. Anyway, sorry. Now we are going to discuss about pre-emphasis and de-emphasis. So, first of all, you should remember one thing. In the beginning, I told in case of FM for message signal, how the message signal spectrum will be there. Message signal before modulation, I am telling. Before modulation. For the message signal, it is having very good value at the beginning. That message signal value decreases as the frequency increases. As the frequency increases. This is the message spectrum value. This is the message spectrum value. Message spectrum value. This is the amplitude. That means what? Your message goes up to 15 kilohertz. For example, your message goes up to 15 kilohertz. See, your FM signal message. FM signal message means up to 15 kilohertz for commercial FM. In other cases, it is up to 20 kilohertz. In other cases, it is up to 20 kilohertz. So you have to observe this curve. At the low frequency, it is having very good amplitude. Low frequencies are having very good amplitude. That the contribution of low frequencies are higher. Contribution of the low frequencies are higher. So as the frequency increases, the effect, amplitude effect, the contribution decreases. So once, that means what? The low frequencies having better signal power. The low frequencies having better signal power. Once the frequency increases, the signal power decreases. Once the frequency increases, the signal power decreases. What is the reason? The amplitude decreases. So at low frequencies, it is having very good signal power, some constant signal power it is having as compared to low frequency signal, that high frequency signals having less power, And remember one thing, the effect of noise will be always constant, irrespective of low or high frequency. The effect of noise will be always constant because noise does not know, will not differentiate the low or high frequencies. Simply the noise will be available in the entire spectrum. Say for example, this is the noise spectrum. For example, white noise spectrum. This is the noise spectrum or white noise spectrum. If it is two-sided, you have to put N0 by 2. If it is two-sided, you have to put N0 by 2. If it is two-sided, you have to put N0